My name is Shane. I use she and her pronouns. Today we are playing Lucian Khan's Visigoths versus Morgoths. This game was organised as part of the Gauntlet calendar. If you're not familiar, the Gauntlet is an online community that plays and discusses a whole lot of story games, indie games, OSR games, all kinds of games. If you'd like to find out more or play with us, you can go to gauntlet-rpg.com. And you can find me, if you want to follow me, on Twitter at Shane_Marble. I always ask the players where people can find them, but I never remember to tell anyone how they can find me. So I'll go around the order that you're appearing on my screen, and I'll just ask for your name, your pronouns, anything that you'd like to tell us about yourself or where people can find you online. And I would like to hear, Joe, you already mentioned that you've not played this before, but I'd love to hear from everyone whether you've played the game, know the game, how familiar you are. And Joe, I'll get you to go first.
Well, thank you, Shane. My name is Joe. I use he, him pronouns. I've been on the Gauntlet for a while. You can find me on Instagram at the Fedora Fan. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/rpglory. That stream is run by my friend Brad, and every Sunday I show up with my friends Chris and Jason, and we all play strange games together. So yeah, that's fun. I haven't played this game yet. I've heard some actual plays of it, and it sounds really interesting.
Cool. Thank you. Brandon?
Hi, I'm Brandon. I've been with the Gauntlet since about the middle of last year, and I've played many new games that I had never heard of before, to my great delight. And the premise of this game seemed barking mad, and so I had to try it.
That's correct. Jeremy?
Hi, I'm Jamie. I use they, them pronouns, and I've been on the Gauntlet since, I can do the math, October 2019. Yeah, and I actually backed this game when it came out on Kickstarter because I love Lucian's games. He makes amazing games. I was very excited for this. I read the game, but I haven't been able to actually play it. And unfortunately I read it a long time ago, so I haven't been able to reread it since then, but I'm super excited. Actually, the most recent thing I've heard about this game is I'm working in this game called Balik Bayan, which is a cyberpunk supernatural game, and there's this group, they've been playing their Balik Bayan game for a year, and then for a side session they transported their characters into this game. And they said it worked perfectly. So I'm like, I need to see what this strange connection is. Anyway, I just love that.
That is an amazing concept. Amazing. And Mendel.
Hi, I'm Mendel. My pronouns are he, him. I've not managed to play this Visigoths versus Morgoths before. In fact, I think this is technically my first actual Gauntlet calendar game. I did do some Gauntlet.
Sorry, you've dropped out there. Are you still with us?
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you again.
Okay. And I'm tempted now to jump to my wired-in computer, which doesn't have a webcam.
All right. Do you want to take a minute and do that? All right. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes, and hopefully Mendel can get onto a different connection. Apparently yesterday or this week was International Game Master Day, and my regular home group had flowers delivered to my house, which are sitting like right by my laptop now and just
Aw.
smelling
Aw.
amazing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's really nice.
That's nice.
I just get pizza. I would
Mm.
like flowers. That's so sweet, though.
I was very surprised and confused as to who could possibly be sending me flowers.
My regular group, I've somehow lucked into a group of people who all want to be the game master. So we end up having to fight for it most weeks, and so
It's such
I'm
a
trying-
good problem to have.
I know it's such a great problem to have, but I can't imagine any of them like we'll send each other all pizza or flowers.
Or maybe the good in between. I remember seeing like somewhere like a bouquet of, was it hot dogs? Bacon flowers. A bouquet of bacon flowers. That's what I saw online. So.
One of the things that I really enjoy about this game that I've seen so far is that other people get to choose your embarrassing trait.
Yeah.
So cute.
I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that like I ran it one time before, and both times like before today and before then, I was like, oh shit, I don't really know, like what am I doing? Like quickly watch some actual plays, and then just realized like all I need to do is just be as over the top as possible at all times. Mendel, how's that?
Can you hear me?
us? Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear us okay?
Okay.
Oh.
Mostly. Sometimes it gets a little stilted, but it looks like it might be. But this is direct. This is literally wired into the router. So
Okay. Well, we'll all
Yes.
touch wood that this is going to hold up
all right,
nicely
if you
for
can
you.
hear me, yes.
So sorry, you were just in the middle of introducing yourself and telling us that maybe this was your first actual like Gauntlet calendar game.
Yeah. So this is my first actual Gauntlet calendar game. Which admittedly I was worried about doing because of my internet, but I wanted to give it a try anyway. So,
All right, I'm sure that we can make this work,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and happy to have you here. All right,
Okay.
so I'm just going to go through some introductory stuff around expectations, a little CATS procedure, so concept, aim, tone, and subject matter. As Brandon kind of alluded to, this game has like a lot of concept. Like I feel like there's just more concept than pretty much any other game I know. But reading from the game text, long ago, the Visigoths sacked Rome in search of a homeland. But just last year, a careless suburban Morgoth with a Ouija board evoked an entire community of Visigoths into 1996 from the distant past. At first, the Visigoths were confused by the modern world, but they adapted quickly and soon opened their own stores in the mall. Their ultimate goal, to conquer the entire mall and maybe one day Los Angeles itself. The Visigoths never forgave the Morgoths for uprooting them. The Morgoths never forgave the Visigoths for trying to push them out of the mall. This means war. So that is the concept. Aim-wise, we're going to have 4 sessions of 3 hours each. We'll take breaks roughly on the hour. Today, we're going to go over the rules and then make characters and just start playing. Game does have like adventure episodes, kind of like scenarios or modules or whatever. Each of those takes up 1 day of mall time. They kind of read to me like sitcom episodes. I'm not really sure how quickly we'll get through those. I think it's plausible that we'll do 1 each session. I also think it's plausible that we'll stretch 1 to the entire 4-session series. I'm happy to go with like whatever the group is whichever way things are going. one thing I just wanted to be clear about in terms of the adventure episodes, they give you like a lot of kind of hooks, like a lot of directions for you to go in, but a fully intended and welcome mode of play is to completely ignore them and just like hang out at the mall, flirt with other characters. Like you don't have to ignore them, but it's not wrong in the way in a lot of games it's wrong to ignore the adventure hooks. Tone-wise, I think it kind of speaks for itself. Obviously, the tone is pretty comical and absurd. I prepared for this game by watching the 90s classic Hackers, so that has shaped my idea of what the tone should be.
I love that. I love that movie. It's so horrible.
Good. So good. And subject matter. So again, to read from the game text, what the author says is, if Visigoths versus Morgoths were a movie, it would be rated PG-13. This game is designed to tell stories that include flirting, romance, dates, kissing, making out, and light kink, fuzzy handcuffs, a chest harness, fursuits, etc. There's also a lingerie store, a store with a sexy pun in the name, and a 90s style online purity test. If the clerks strike your group as a bit young for this sort of thing, I think they're in their sort of mid to late teens, feel free to make anyone older. If you wish to omit any of these elements from the game, come to an agreement as a table. The game wasn't designed for sex scenes beyond kissing or making out, partially because it takes place in a shopping mall. This game designer did a lot of weird things as a teenager in LA in the 90s, but never had sex in the Sherman Oaks Galleria. So that's like the sort of general level that it's pitched at. We'll go through some safety tools now just to talk about how to organize that stuff. First of all, lines and veils. So if you can open the character keeper from the drive, there's a safety tab there that includes lines and veils. So just in case anyone's not familiar with it, what you'll see is there's a long list of kind of subjects, and there's a set of color-coded columns for enthusiastic consent, line, veil, and ask first. Enthusiastic consent, I guess, is clear. A line is a topic that we're just not going to include in the game at all. Like, it won't come up in the story. We're just not going to talk about it. It's not going to happen to your characters. A veil is a topic that may happen in the world of the game, may come up in the story, but it's never going to be a focus. We're always going to kind of skip over it quickly or fade to black or something like that. Ask first just means you'd like to be checked in with individually before we talk about that topic. If you're comfortable with it, if you mark anything as ask first, it would help me if you can also put your name in that row so I know who wants to be checked in with about it. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. I'm happy to just check in with all the players if that topic comes up. You are extremely welcome to add more topics to that list. It's not an exhaustive list by any means. Anything that you'd like to sort of limit or think about how it's going to be included in the game, you're very welcome to add to that list. The other thing that you'll see on that page, if you sort of scroll down and to the right, is a little romance matrix. And you'll see that you can put your names in there as players 1 through 6, and then you can express some preferences about how your character will engage romantically with either other players or with NPCs. Just to emphasize with that, putting a yes in a column in the romance options doesn't mean you are bound to romance someone if they want that. It just means that you're open to that and will actually negotiate consent specifically if it comes up in the game. I am going to stop talking for a minute and give everyone a chance to fill out that page. And when you are done, could you just put an OK in the chat for me? Or if you've got any questions, that's fine.
Quick question, Shane.
Sure.
If there is something on here that's already been clicked off as like an enthusiastic consent or an ask first, and for me it's veil or line, should I click veil or line?
Yeah, so like we're always going to treat everything as kind of the highest level of safety that someone has requested. So yeah, if it's a line or a veil for you, but it's an ask first for someone else, yeah, just mark that, and that's how we'll manage it. Mendel, how you going there?
All right, I'm trying it on my cell phone without Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's
Okay. I'm not sure how much of you heard of my spiel about lines and veils you heard. Do you need me to go over anything, or are you comfortable with that? Sorry, I can tell that you're talking, but I'm not hearing what you're saying. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I really can't hear you. You've frozen up for me. All right. I'm just going to give it a minute again and hope that Mendel can come back and organize their safety preferences. Here we go. Hey. You back with us?
All right.
Mendel, are you hearing me okay now?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes. That's great. Can you hear us okay? Can you hear me?
Mostly. Yeah. Where are the lines and veils?
So in the email I sent you, there's a link to a Google Drive. And you'll see if you open that up, there's a link to a Google Sheet, which is the one with a little green icon on it, called Visigoths versus Morgoths Character Keeper. And then there's a tab on the Character Keeper called Safety.
All right.
Sorry, I'm not sure. That's okay. Did you like hear my spiel about lines and veils? Okay. And all right, I'll just give you a minute to.
I heard enough of it, and I know I know the basics. So
great. All right. So just type a. Yeah.
Oh no! Such cruel internet.
I know.
It's especially vicious.
The internet is not with you. It's against you. Who can be with you?
Yeah, it's against us all.
Yeah, I remember when I first joined the Gauntlet. They asked me to come on as a GM for one of the online conventions. I didn't know if my internet was going to hold. I was like, I'm just going to buy the cheapest webcam, which I still haven't replaced, and then just hope it's going to work. So I've been pretty lucky so far. I've had like a few bad days though, but yeah, very few.
In my first Gauntlet game, I got like booted from Zoom like right before the climactic scene, and just couldn't get my internet working again.
Was that part of the camp, or was that after the camp, or was that before the camp?
Before.
I on one of my first Gauntlet games, it was a game of worldwide wrestling. So it's like, go around and introduce your character. So I introduced my character, in this very professional wrestling way. And then I went to click mute, but instead of clicking mute, I clicked log off. So I felt smart.
No, sometimes like these buttons are very close to each other, so.
Or they're in the like transpose spots in different apps, so you get used to the one on here, and then
Exactly. It's like when you switch between consoles, right? Like the Xbox and the Nintendo have like the same letters, but in exactly opposite. Anyway, I just get so annoyed with that.
Oh, whereas one time I was playing two very Twitch heavy games, and one of them had draw weapon that was the same button as in the other game was dodge. So I'm constantly like, dodge, putting away my weapon. No.
Oh my gosh, that was me in Mass Effect, where it was like, I'm just trying to pull out my map, throw a bomb. Like, wait, no, I'm just trying to stop that.
Stealth grenade.
Yeah, the grenade. I never have the grenade button map onto anything else.
No.
Yeah. Like, why does the grenade have to have its own button? I don't understand.
I know, right?
Or we just, it's one of those things you go, walk, talk, throw grenades.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's just a
essential to the
natural,
game.
ordinary activity like you might do every day.
Mendel, can you hear us? I'm not hearing you if you've replied. Okay, cool. So, just to briefly go over what we've agreed in terms of lines and veils, we have lines on sexual assault, homophobia, transphobia, and cancer. We have veils on graphic gore, harm to animals, harm to children, torture, and domestic violence. We have an enthusiastic consent to kissing, and we have an ask first on kink for Joe. We also have, an ask first for PC to PC romance from Mendel, and otherwise yeses from everyone on PC and NPC romance. And again, those yeses just indicate an openness, not a compulsory romance that's about to happen. The other safety tools that we'll be using, just quickly, we'll be using the X card. So if anything comes up in the game that you're not comfortable with or that isn't fun for you, you can say the words X card. You can type an X in the chat. You can make an X visually with your arms if you've got your camera on. We're also using the open table, meaning that the open door. You're welcome to leave. If the game turns out not to be for you, if anything feels like not good, you're welcome to just take a break. I hope that you will want to come back, but just take what you need. Also using the Gauntlet Community Code of Conduct, which I can send you a link for if you want to check more about it. Just generally with safety, I like to say that it's just remind everyone that it's all of our responsibility to make the game to think through the safety tools. Especially with those visual X's, if someone types an X or puts up an X with their hands, I often won't be watching the stream while I'm running a game. So please, if you notice that, let me know verbally. If you notice that we seem to be getting close to a line or a veil, those may slip my mind at times, although I'll do my best to avoid them. If you notice that something might be coming up, or a check-in is always welcome. Are there any questions about any of the safety tools or other kind of introductory stuff that we've talked about? Cool. So the next step that the game asks us to take is to read the rules aloud together. There are only 2 pages of rules, so it will not take very long. It's in the Visigoth versus Morgoths printout PDF that's in the Google Drive. And if you open that and scroll past the different types of goth, you'll get to 2 pages of game rules. Does everyone see that? So I am going to go around, again, the order that I see people on the screen and ask you to read aloud sections from this. If anyone's not comfortable reading aloud, that's totally fine. Just say you'd prefer not to, and we'll move on. That's not an issue. I'm going to start with teams and the Mall Rat. There are two teams, Visigoths and Morgoths. Inside the fiction, Visigoth characters and Morgoth characters are rivals. At the table, Visigoth players and Morgoth players are collaborative storytellers. The player with the complete guide to the mall is called the Mall Rat. It's me. The Mall Rat facilitates the game. I have to say, Mall Rat is one of my more preferred options for substitute names for a dungeon master.
True.
All right. Just around the order that I see you on my screen. Joe, do you want to read the scenes part?
Yes, indeed. Time slots and store visits. Each day is broken up into 6 time slots. Each team of Goths plays out a scene in 1 store per time slot, either 1 scene with both teams or 2 scenes with teams in separate stores. Team members must stay together as a group for store visits because teens in this mall only shop with their friends. Passing notes. When your team is not in a scene, you may write in-character notes to your teammates back and forth. This is always optional. Some things to do in stores. Talk with your team about plans and strategies. Talk to store clerks to get information. Go shopping or shoplift. Debate about music, fashion, religion, or other cultural matters. Fight. Talk about hurt feelings to heal them. Flirt. Ask people on dates or make out. Passageways. You can also hang out in the passageways with other characters, elevators, escalators, stairwells, and hallways. Visiting passageways doesn't advance the clock.
Cool. And Brandon, can you read rolling dice for us, please?
Players roll dice to resolve conflicts. If there is no conflict, there's no need to roll dice. Roll off against another player, a Mall Rat controlled character, or the mall itself. Always roll 2d6 and add any relevant modifiers from your skills on your character sheet or special items. Whoever has the highest number succeeds and the other fails. Both players succeed on a tie, and the situation escalates ridiculously or dramatically.
Jamie, do you want to read hurt feelings?
Sure. I also want to say that's like one of the best rules I've seen for a tie. Right? Very good. So hurt feelings. Most games only track physical damage, but this game only tracks emotional damage. If your character sheet contains 2 or more hurt feelings, you are emotionally overwhelmed. Wow, I really feel this. Okay. You are emotionally overwhelmed and can't physically fight or use embarrassing traits until you talk about your feelings with a friend. Hurt feelings from physical attacks. Physical attacks always hurt everyone's feelings. When your physical attack against an opponent is successful, you and your opponent both experience hurt feelings. Write a word describing how your character feels in the hurt feelings section of your character sheet. Hurt feelings from other events. If you believe something other than a physical attack wounded your character's feelings, feel free to add a hurt feeling to your character sheet. This rule is less strict than the rule about physical attacks. It's up to the player to judge their own character's emotions. And lastly, healing. Each character can only heal and erase a total of 1 hurt feeling from their character sheet per scene.
Cool. Mendel, can you read embarrassing traits for us?
Embarrassing traits. Embarrass yourself to make your friends seem cool in comparison. If you draw attention to your embarrassing trait, you may offer another player a +3 bonus to their roll, but you must add embarrassed to your hurt feelings. You may announce this before or after your friend's roll. Just announce it before the Mall Rat describes the narrative result. You must have an empty slot available in your hurt feelings to use an embarrassing trait.
And finally, I will read kissing. Always ask before initiating a romantic or kissy plotline with another player's character. Yes means yes, no means no, maybe also means no. I think that the next part is oriented like landscape rather than portrait on the page, which is going to make it a challenge for someone to read. Joe, if you don't want to read that aloud, I can summarize it, or if you want to have a go.
I'll give this a chance. This looks fine.
All right.
All adventure episodes begin in the early morning time slot. Each team of Goth plays out a scene in 1 store per time slot, either 1 scene with both teams or 2 scenes with teams in separate stores. When the late evening time slot is complete, the adventure episode is over. There is no way to get extra time because the mall closes at 10 p.m. If the mall rat wishes to end the adventure episode before filling the clock, they may advance directly to epilogues. Place this clock in the middle of the table to track the passage of time. Whenever a group of Goths leaves the store, check a box. When both boxes for a time slot are checked, advance to the next time slot.
Cool. And Brandon, do you want to crane your neck around to read epilogues for us?
Sure. Epilogues. Each player makes a few brief statements about what happens to their character after the events of the adventure episode.
Cool. So those are the entire rules of the game. Thanks for reading them together. Now we're going to make characters. So I actually made this character keeper. It was the first one I ever attempted. I don't know that I did a great job except for the colors, which are, if I may say so myself, extremely good. The main mechanical decision that you have to make, and it's going to populate almost the whole sheet for you, is what type of goth you are. And like it suggested at the start, 2 of you are going to be Visigoths and 2 of you are going to be Morgoths. So just take a minute to read through the types are set out at the start of that PDF that has the rules in it. Think about what type of goth you want to be, and let's work that out.
So I very much want to be a Visigoth. Does anybody else also want to be a Visigoth?
Yes, I think I'd like to be this one.
Okay.
Anachronism appeals to you.
Jamie and Mendel, are you happy to be Morgoth?
Yeah, I was hoping to be a Morgoth, but how about you, Mendel?
Oh, I'm good with Morgoth. I was willing to go either way. So.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think you.
Yeah, I'm prioritizing Morgoth options in my head right now.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, if you just start using the drop downs to pick what kind of character you are, once you've chosen your goth type, it should populate the options for some of the other stuff.
Oh wow, this is nice, Shane. I'm very impressed. I cannot do this stuff.
I'm really excited to watch the panel about how to make character keepers from last week.
Oh yeah,
Joe, do you have a strong preference for?
Yes,
which book?
I'm okay being either a charlatan or a runecaster, but I'm leaning heavily towards charlatan.
Well, then you should be a charlatan. And such a tough choice.
True. Mendel, is there
Jamie,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm actually good with all 3 options, so you can pick and I'll pick something else.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
okay. I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, okay. Well, okay, then I'll give you my loose priority, which is Cyber Pet, then Witch, then Theater Goth.
Ooh, okay. Then I'll pick Witch then. I really like that.
That works. So Cyber Pet and Witch then.
Yeah, I just finished WandaVision too, so I'm very much in a witch.
Oh well, then I think I have to be a runecaster then.
I've heard wonderful things, and someday we'll have a ability to stream it. So.
Oh yeah, I understand. I live in the Philippines, so we technically shouldn't have access to the show. But we're gonna get Disney.
I won't tell if you want.
Yeah, I watched it through extracurricular means.
I am very excited to finish up this game today and then go and watch WandaVision and RuPaul's Drag Race. It's all I want.
Oh my gosh! I have to catch up with RuPaul. I haven't caught up with the last few seasons. But...
So you'll see you'll get 3 skills, and you start with 2 of them at +2 and 1 of them at +3. You'll also see that my level of skill with Google Sheets required me to actually write out the word plus to make it work correctly rather than use a plus sign.
Actually, yeah, I never quite figured out how to put a plus.
I like that the Visigoths have these interesting pronouns, interesting pronoun possibilities.
Yeah, which I understand to be like historically correct. I'm not quite sure what language Visigoths spoke.
I wonder if it was Gothic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the book does tell me. I just don't recall. All right, so I think
that's in fact where Gothic comes from. It's
right,
an Eastern Germanic.
Yeah, it must be.
At least.
I'm going to avoid going down a linguistic.
Although,
okay.
you know, we could be Visigoths from Hispania, in which case we'd speak Latin as our primary language.
Right.
So maybe the Reds
Lutherans,
speak Latin. What?
Basically,
Sorry?
or at least considered themselves that. Yeah. They eventually decided to join with Rome and then conquer Rome from inside, like most of the Romans did. So
yeah, no, I'm just saying a lot of them, but
they were just replicating Julius Caesar and sacking.
But Spain was, Spain's like 9/10 Goth at one point. Except for a little stripe at the bottom.
This is more educational than I expected Visigoth versus Morgoth to be. I love it. So just if everyone can choose which 2 skills are at +2 and which one is at +3. And then we can allocate embarrassing traits together.
So am I right that the Morgoths are picking embarrassing traits for the Visigoths and vice versa?
Yes.
Are we?
Oh, sorry, Shane, you're muted.
Thank you. That's basically right. So the way it works is each of you gets to pick or nominate an embarrassing trait for one member of the other team. So you'll need to use the drop-down menu in kind of their column because they're different for Visigoths and Morgoths. If you're not happy with the trait that they've nominated for you, you can decline, but then you have to pick 2 embarrassing traits for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let's go left to right across the character keeper then. Mendel, well, just thinking, yeah. Maybe it makes sense that we introduce our characters first and then you can think about what embarrassing traits make sense for everyone. So, Joe, you're muted if you're saying something.
No, just practicing my voice.
I love it.
Nice, nice.
Well, let's just go left to right across the character keeper and just get you to introduce the character that you've made, their name, their pronouns, what sort of goth they are, what they're good at, anything that you want to tell us about them. So, Mendel, do you want to start out telling us about Telly?
Okay, so Telly is a slightly too eager cyber pet goth who sort of takes after rabbits a little bit. They might be a rabbit, they might not. It's hard to say, but they are definitely able to walk around the mall nonetheless. Let's see. so they're not a predator. They're definitely an animal that is more concerned about being preyed upon than giving other people trouble. So, hence the expertise of playing dead.
Excellent. So one of the Visigoths needs to nominate an embarrassing trait for Tally. Joe and Brandon, does either of you want to suggest something?
I'm thinking it's got to be either bad taste in music or a voice that cracks.
Yeah, I like those two.
So let's pick one.
I think cracking voice.
Cracking voice it
is interesting. Yeah, let's go with that.
Mendel, will you accept cracking voice as an embarrassing trait?
I accept your challenge.
Great. So, Brandon, can you tell us about Elfgiver? I'm not sure if I've said that right.
Yeah, and I tried to pick one that was pronounceable.
Thank you.
Elfgiva is someone who has let's see, I just want to check one thing here. Elfgiva is basically is a big fan of that the system clearly in this modern world is designed to favor people who are not, in fact, from the 4th century, and so cheating is the only way that they can get ahead, and so she is she's very flexible in how she tries to accomplish things, but cute at the same time.
And does one of the Morgoths want to nominate an embarrassing trait for Elfgiver?
What are you thinking, Jamie?
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think that dumped by famous lover is always a good one.
that was the first one I looked at.
Might be fun too.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Because we have to get them to speak Pig Latin. That would be funny. That is. Oh my gosh, that's really difficult. I kind of like the idea of the
I'd be okay
Runecaster
with
having to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
To speak Pig Latin. Oh, okay. You mean the Pig Latin one?
Yeah. I was thinking.
Brandon, will you accept
Sounds like
wants to be Roman and speaks Pig Latin?
Absolutely.
I love this one because what I learned last time I played the game is that Pig Latin can mean different things in different parts of the world, and what I think of as Pig Latin is not necessarily what other people think of as Pig Latin.
I just know from Short Circuit 2.
I don't think I recall.
Because it came up. I still don't know how to do it, but I saw it explained.
This is a skill that every 5-year-old had to acquire when I was young. So
what does Pig Latin mean to you?
It means to transpose.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, to me it means, since I've got it here, it means the first character of the first consonant of a word is transposed to the end and then a added.
Right.
So if it starts with
pig.
a vowel, it's there's a EA.
Well, actually, or just an A. Actually, we speak the dialect that does not.
Yeah.
My dialect of
Okay,
Big
fair
Latin
enough.
doesn't change the inflection.
But
The,
Actually,
my
I found
I
much
did
harder
once
than Big Latin.
translate the murder of Julius Caesar from Shakespeare into Pig Latin for a sketch comedy.
But it's only really great if you do it on the fly.
We were doing different comedy versions of killing Julius Caesar every day for a month, and so that was one day.
Amazing.
In
So
other words,
funny.
That was a lot of fun.
So you could, in other words, so you could do Latin in Pig Latin. You could say ut break.
I love this so much.
At my high school, Pig Latin meant
I believe the
putting
preface
sound
to that was that Shakespeare is always better performed in the original pirate, though.
Oh.
Arr.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
At my school,
and I did end up making a cesarean section joke too, at one point.
Pig
As a
Latin.
magician cuts Caesar in half by accident.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll stop.
I just want to get my Pig Latin bit in. At my school, Pig Latin meant you put the sound avaga in the middle of every syllable.
Wow.
Sovago, Uvago, Tovago, Glavga, Glivagis. If you couldn't do that, you were not cool at all.
Oh yeah, it's like that my elder sister would do.
Oh my gosh.
Throw the ball to board, baby.
All right, let's keep moving. So let's hear about Umbra.
Yeah, so Umbra is a Morgoth, is a witch, and so they use they them pronouns, and they're always wearing these shades no matter what time it is inside the mall. These like circular. I'm really thinking the vibe, Shane. Ever since you brought up hackers, it's like that kind of vibe, even if they're not like a hacker type, but it's that kind of general vibe. So they have the skills of detect lies, persuade, and haunt. Slightly better at haunt, and with Umbra, what I'm seeing for them is that they discovered like a grimoire that they thought was fake, and they were just like studying it for fun. It turned out it was very, very real, and so now they're just trying to pretend they know what they're doing. So they're sort of caught up in in that mess. But yeah, and so they're basically a witch who is pretty good, pretty natural at being a witch, but doesn't really know what they're doing.
Cool. So Visigoths, do you want to give or suggest an embarrassing trait for Umbra?
That tastes the music.
Yeah, I also like prep school student.
Oh no, both are
Either one of those
gosh.
is really interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
okay,
good.
prep school student.
Prep school student, let's go with that one.
Yeah. It also explains my outfit, right? Like it's just a version of the uniform that I like. Have to quickly tear apart.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
And Joe, tell us about Cole.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cole. I'm a charlatan, which is a very mean name for somebody who tells people what they want to hear. I'm pretty good at persuading people, and I'm pretty good at inspiring religious acts, but mostly I'm very good at running away from things. I've had a lot of practice. You see, I'm a soft boy, and it's very hard being a soft boy in 400 BC or wherever it was I came from. I had to do a lot of running from big people with spiky clubs. So I'm quite happy to be here in modern times. It's much nicer here. You can get iced coffee in the mall, and nobody seems to mind that I'm plotting to take over the world through, or at least Los Angeles. Yes, so that's me.
Fantastic. Morgoth, what embarrassing trait would you like to suggest for Cole?
Let's see. The soft boy. Oh gosh, do we want? I kind of leaning towards bad dancer because the idea of this person running away maybe mid bad dance is hilarious to me. But what do you think, Mendel?
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, we are psychically
So I'm
linked.
gonna go. I concur.
Fantastic. So, it's nearly 3, so let's just take a quick break and then we'll come back and do relationships and then we'll be ready to go. Is it good for everyone if we come back at 5 minutes past the hour?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. I'll see you soon.
All right, see you then.
So, and this may or may not be important to the game, but if I'm hearing the timeline correctly, it's about 1997 now. Is that right?
I think it says 1996 in the book, but I'm willing to vary that if you prefer a 97 setting.
The only reason why I say that is because Cole has a religious symbol, and he's very much into astrological signs. So he is wearing a Mars symbol, which, of course, is the circle with the arrow pointing up, which is also considered the male symbol, which is a symbol that Austin Powers wears in the Austin Powers movie, which came out in 1997. So I thought that might add for some comedic timing.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe Austin Powers was that long ago.
I know, right? God.
It does not. I mean, it makes sense, but my brain is resisting the truth.
I think next year's its 15-year anniversary then. Wow.
15.
No, not 15.
Okay.
No, 25?
Oh,
Yeah, I think it is 25.
I was already freaking out at 15. Even worse. Even worse.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I was talking to someone the other day.
Some point next year, someone conceived during an Austin Powers movie will be able to rent a car.
No. But yeah, I was talking to someone who was like, "Oh, I feel so old," and they were like 21, and I was like, "I want to punch you like out the window." If I could.
There's nothing worse than someone younger than you saying they feel old.
Yep.
All right. So the next part of character creation is relationships. And on the character keeper, there's just kind of space for you to cut and paste these in. But on the PDF, you'll see that there are a list of starting relationships for your goth type for you to choose. They each have 2 kind of blanks in them. One is to put in the name of one of the other PCs, and the other is to kind of describe something, an event or a thing. We'll go through 2 times, so I'll go right to left this time to change it up. One of your relationships needs to be with your fellow goth, and one of your relationships needs to be with one of the opposing goths. Joe, do you want to do one of Cole? Tell us one of Cole's relationships first.
Yes. Okay, so my crush on Telly weirds me out because people who think of themselves as animals where I come from are usually like given great shamanic power or driven out of the tribe, one of the two.
Yeah.
So I suspect they might actually secretly be a powerful shaman.
Yeah. Mandel, are you comfortable with that? Mandel?
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Yes.
Okay.
Great. Thanks. Cool. What's Umbra's first relationship going to be?
Yeah, I have to choose this mysterious one. A spirit in a dream told me to pay attention to blank because blank. And I feel like it'd be funny if it was our charlatan. I'm trying to figure out. So the spirit in the dream told me for some reason I'm seeing Terry Pratchett, like the man with 100 retreating backs or something. Is that what it's called? Anyway, so like I just had this weird dream of you just running away over and over again in this like Escher painting kind of scenario dream. But a spirit told me that you were running towards the truth, not running away from life. And so I have to like figure out what that is. Does that make sense?
I do run away a lot. Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Perfect.
Right. And Brandon, what is Elfgiver's first relationship?
I want to conquer Los Angeles with Cole at my side because every Donar needs a lying sneak.
Excellent. Joe looking very satisfied with that one.
Yes.
And
who has
Mendel.
2 thumbs and is a lying sneak? This guy.
Mendel, do you want to do? Well, we'll just do both of yours, maybe. So, what's your first relationship going to be?
So I'm. Okay, are we doing the cross ones first then?
You can do them in whatever order you want.
This doesn't have to be. Okay. Right. So I think that hold on a second. Where's that disappearing on me? Okay. I think that the Visigoth I most resent is Elfgiva, because she keeps trying to control me.
Brandon, how's that sound?
Change control to dominate, and yes.
Does that work for Telly?
Fine. Yeah.
Cool.
I have to ask, why
Control's not enough.
Why does this adorable bunny have like hair? Is that a thing that bunnies can do? Anyway, sorry. I was so distracted by the hair.
Oh my god, it's like it has a mane.
Can you see the picture? I haven't seen it.
Yes.
I can't.
It is literally the first thing that came up when I searched for goth bunny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check.
No, I can't see it. Very
You're
well.
really missing out. Okay, so now I'll just go back left to right. So
I thought somebody was making a joke saying, "Why does this rabbit have hair?" And it's like, really?
No, it was a very.
That's like a joke a 7-year-old would make.
Cool. So left to right, Mendel, do you want to do Telly's second relationship with one of the Morgoths?
Right. I mean, and this should be with Umbra, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So I have hacked into Umbra's email at one point.
Scandal.
And discovered an embarrassing secret. And I'm trying to think.
Oh my gosh. Can we say that I'm the top of my class at prep?
I need to research that. Sorry.
And
yes.
I'm going to become what's the term? Valedictorian?
Valedictorian, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the way to being valedictorian, and I'm very upset about it.
Right.
Truly, this is an RPG, living out my fantasies. But anyway.
Are your parents paying off the school? Is that why you're doing so well?
Ooh, you know what? I want to say I thought they were, but it turns out I just really enjoy school. It's really awful.
Oh my god!
I really love it. It's so awful. But I have to pretend I hate school, right?
Huh. Cool. Alfgeber, what is your other relationship?
The
Okay.
other one is, let's find the wording. So my crush on Umbra weirds me out because witches are monsters that should be all put to the sword. But I find her adorable for some reason.
like
Umbra's
these,
pronouns are they, them, but yeah.
But I find them adorable for some reason. I find them mysterious and unfathomable and irritating.
Perfect.
Right. And Umbra, what's your other relationship?
Yeah, I'm going to say mine is my crush on Telly weirds me out because Telly is a bunny.
Fair.
and I didn't realize I liked bunnies. So but there. It's that mane. It's very bewitching. I just keep looking at it.
Mendel, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Yep.
Because I remember you have a check-in and stuff, and so we'll just keep it to a crush, and then we'll see.
Cool. And Cole, what is your second relationship?
So I'm going to need some help with this one. I'm still upset that Elfgiva found out I lied about something. But I'm not sure what
Everything.
I would have lied about that I would be upset about.
I think you were upset, but maybe. Well, no, you were upset that I found out.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Probably because there was chasing and spear throwing involved.
Probably.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I mean, there generally is.
And then I wouldn't speak to you for a while.
I mean, if you're really confounded, you could decide something true that she discovered you lied about lying about.
Ooh, I kind of like that. Something definitely about the mall that I didn't understand. Elfgiva. I'm still upset that Elfgiva found out I lied.
Oh, you told me a story about the modern world, which turned out to be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah,
and I embarrassed the hell out of myself. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, everybody here, you wear you pour pig's blood on your head to show that you're interested in someone or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you pour me. And the way that you really show you love someone is by going up to all of these machines in the mall that people go up to and push little buttons and they get money out of. All you have to do is go up to it and press a certain combination of monies and they'll give you money. So I think it was it wasn't just one lie. It was a long, complicated story that was like my point of view of what the modern world was like, and it was all wrong. You take these containers of blood and pulp that you get at this one stand in the mall, and you pour it over someone when you're interested in them. Because I saw a couple doing that, and I thought, oh well, that must be a mating ritual.
Amazing. So I think that we have made our characters. I don't think there's anything else that we needed to cover. So let me tell you how your day at the mall is going to start. Sorry, are there any questions before we start today's episode? All right. So all four of you are going to start the day. You're going to spend your early morning slot at Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili Cafe. It is a dial-up internet cafe with tasty snacks. The proprietor is a 55-year-old black man named Joe who is wearing a puff paint t-shirt with a giant floppy disk on it. And all of you, so the Visigoths and Morgoths sitting on opposite sides of the cafe, all checking America Online, when everyone receives the following email surrounded by clip art of pink hearts and flying cupids. It's addressed to Creepy Losers List from Student Council Secretary Brooke. Subject, Valentine's Day Skate. And it reads, don't forget to find a date for tonight's Valentine's Day skate at the Hyper Grrrl Roller Rink. That's girl. Hyper Grrrl Roller Rink. All stores will be temporarily closed in the late evening so employees can join in the festivities. Capital N, capital O, no horseplay. There is also...
It's always the rule.
I mean, I wonder if they've introduced that rule in a more literal sense after the Visigoths didn't really get the concept last time. Yeah. There is also in your inbox something called the Omnigoth Purity Test, and you will see that is in the Google Drive for the game. Just take a sec to have a look.
Well, it's not really fair, is it? I mean, I don't even know what a skee ball machine is.
You could still have met out with someone on the ramp of one of them.
Well, I might have. I might not have.
Mysterious shrine to the god of Bachi or something. I don't know.
Oh, that must be one of their gods. There's so many of them. It's tough to remember them all.
I have to admit that as an Australian, I also have no idea what a skee ball machine is. Can anyone enlighten me?
Yes. The skee ball machine has a dispenser that emits croquet balls, essentially. Wooden balls the size of croquet balls. And it has a long ramp and then a series of concentric circles on a back splash. And so you're trying to pitch the ball up and have it land in the middle or something in order to get a high score. And
Right. Yeah, we have those.
It's skee ball is an American trademark, but it's a universal.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it here.
Yeah, I've never thought about a name for that. Like the thing with the ball and you try and throw it in the circles. So, Cole, you don't care for the purity test?
Well, I do feel it's a little unfair, although I do have to say I have made out with a werewolf once. At least she said she was a werewolf.
That's nice. Okay. How are the Morgoths feeling about the purity test?
It's making me feel really insecure because I haven't checked enough of those boxes. I definitely want to make up with the werewolf.
Tally, what about you?
I think I'm, at least at the moment, more preoccupied with where this came from.
Fair.
Sparrows and the nightingales.
Yep.
And then a subject matter where letters are replaced by animals.
Do I know Lestat 667?
Couldn't get Lestat 666, clearly.
I know, that's what I was thinking, like just one number off.
A little too slow. Little too slow off the chart. Alkiva's view of the Omnigoth purity test is to be disappointed that there are so many that she hasn't checked all of the boxes.
It's not the number of the beast; it's the number of the bestiality. So
she hasn't thought about some of these. It's kind of annoying.
And I mean, there's nothing in here about riding and slaughtering and any of the things that real Goths would do. So
there is riding.
Mm-hmm. There is riding, and I have done both the separate ponies and riding the same sheep. I might might have even done that on the same day. It was Harvest Festival. There was a lot of mulled cider going around.
Well, tied up with rope. Does that include if the other person's tied up with rope?
So you also, well, the Morgoths also receive a third email, and maybe they hear some quiet snickering from the Visigoths right before it arrives. But it is addressed to fake Goths from real Goths, and it has the subject line, "Your disgraced kinsman." And it reads, "Dearest Morgoths, we have captured teen boy Raven Goldberg and are holding him hostage somewhere in this mall. We won't let him go unless you agree to stop hanging out on the bottom floor of the mall. If you don't agree to the deal before the Valentine's Day skate tonight, Raven Goldberg shall be inducted into Visigoth society. He shall look most attractive in armor. Sincerely yours, the Visigoths."
Oh man, and Raven invited me to his bar mitzvah too, back in the day.
And Umbra, like, what's your fond memory of Raven?
Oh, my fond memory of Raven is they caught me changing out of my prep uniform by the dumpster behind the mall. I was just quickly changing, and they just pretended to not see anything. They just turned around. They never mentioned it. Good friend. So.
Oh my god, if he becomes a Visigoth, he could tell them all.
Right. Oh, I have to be selfish. Good idea. Yes. First I'm overcome by these disgusting feelings of friendship, and I realize no, I can be selfish and be out for myself, right?
So there is some secret information to send separately to the Visigoths and the Morgoths at this point, and I've noticed that there doesn't seem to be a DM facility on StreamYard, so I'm going to send emails just to the emails that you all signed up with. So let me see if this works. You should just be receiving an email from me, addressed either to Visigoths or to Morgoths. Let me know if anyone doesn't get that.
So
yeah, I just got
it's a Friday, I'm assuming, because it's Valentine's Day in '97, right?
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
I know this because I looked up the appropriate Jewish holiday around '97. So, but that's not for another week. So never mind. But yeah, Purim is the next Friday.
Okay.
Which is hilarious. But I digress. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I'm going to ask each group of Goths what they want to do. So, this scene in Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili is going to be your early morning slot. Is there anything that any of you are wanting to do while you're at Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili, or do you want to move on to the later morning and head out somewhere else?
Sorry, which group is this again?
Sorry, this is just a question for everyone. Is there anything that you're wanting to do before you leave Floppy Joe's?
Okay, so we're all there, at our own tables and stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
just on the opposite sides, occasionally greasing each other off, scowling, snickering, all that sort of thing.
I know what I want to do.
Take the email address that the Visigoths sent that nastygram through and sign it up for a few things. Just informational stuff, Yeah, I would just put it out there. Just make sure that they can get that email address gets seen. I know it's early in spam, but it's not so early there isn't spam.
Oh yeah.
There just aren't spam filters yet.
I love that Tally is an innovator in the field of spam. That's great. Anyone else?
Oh no, I'm not spamming them. I'm simply signing them up for spam.
Yeah, but like that would have been pretty like innovative conduct in '97, right? I mean, I think at that time I was still signing annoying people up for like physical mail, like actual snail mail.
Oh, fair enough. Yes.
All right.
I know
Cole?
what I'm going to do.
Please.
Yes. I'm going to use my special ability. Once per day without rolling, write a forged note. The recipient will believe it's authentic.
Oh.
So I immediately scroll off a hurried note in in Raven Goldberg's handwriting, or something that looks like Raven Goldberg's handwriting. Umbra, help! They've captured me. They're holding me in, and then there's a bunch of like scribbled writing that all you can make out of it is like Ace RG at the bottom.
Amazing.
And then I'm gonna try and find a way for like to have one of the Goths accidentally discover it.
So I think that you like, so they will believe the note if they find it, but I think that you have to maybe roll to, you know, to have them find it if that's what you're trying to do.
I am.
And that'd be traced back to you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's going to be 2d6. I mean, I guess you're rolling against Umbra if that's who you want to find it.
I kind of want someone else to find it and give it to Umbra. Like if it came right to Umbra, that would be suspicious.
So I guess your choices are to roll against Tally or to roll against Floppy Joe.
I think against Floppy Joe. Yeah, because if it comes from Floppy Joe, like everybody trusts Joe.
All right. So do you have any skills that are going to modify your dice roll?
I'm trying to think if persuade would work.
I mean, it does if you're going to try and persuade him that you just found this somewhere, right?
You know what? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll persuade Joe that, like, Joe, I found this note and it seems to be addressed to Umbra. I can't quite read it. It's in your modern script and I can't quite read it, but I do recognize Umbra's name. And I can't give it to her because, well, you know, she's a Molgoth and they all sort of dislike us for some reason. I don't quite understand why. I'm just a happy puppy. But could you tell her that? Yeah.
Okay, so roll 2d6 plus the relevant skill.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a contested roll against Floppy Joe, who will just roll 2d6.
And I've gotten a 9.
Well, let's see what Floppy Joe has. The icon is slowly revolving as if it's rolling, but
It looks like it says a 2.
I don't know if I should trust a Visigoth conqueror.
No, I see the 2 too. I see the 2
Okay.
too.
I see the 2 as well, but it looks sort of like 2 space d6 plus 0.
That's fine. So, hang on, I'm just going to refresh this because I am having some sort of weird problem with Roll With Me. Cool. So, you succeed, you persuade him. Oh, there we go. It's working for me now. Okay. And he takes the note from you, thanks you for your consideration, and passes it comes over towards Umbra and says, I found this note for you.
And like Umbra turns around really quickly, and like all of a sudden everything gets dark, and there's just a strip line, like Addams Family kind of thing across their eyes, and they very silently just like take the note and then skitter off like a cat.
Do you, and you're happy that you're satisfied that you know what the note says? Do you want Joe to put the text in the chat or something like that, if that would help?
Oh, you mean for the note? Yeah, actually, that would be cool if we could have the text in the chat for the sake of my fritzy brain.
Right.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I did not hear all the note.
Sure. And Elf Giva, what are you up to while this is going on?
I'm still trying to figure out this whole cyber thing. And the fact that computers do not work better if you threaten them.
Yes, fair enough.
I will send an email to everyone. Urging them to prepare for the coming Visigothic domination of Los Angeles, and offer a number of reasonable options for accommodating themselves to Visigoth culture.
So helpful. All right. And Umbra, you have received this note. Do you talk to Tally about it, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I'll go up to... So, Tally, I have to ask, like, we really see a bunny? Like, is that your full form all the time? Or is there a bunny, like, tapping on the computer? Is... Sorry, Mendel, did you hear me when I asked about your bunny form?
Yeah, I missed part of that. I'm sorry.
No worries, it's okay. I was wondering if you're fully in bunny form all the time, or if you switch back and forth, or like I'm just imagining a bunny pawing at the keyboard, signing up the email.
Oh, as in wait, what as in whether I'm bunny sized or wait?
Yeah.
Sure
like, are you a big bunny? Are you a small, normal sized bunny? Like, I'm just trying to.
Are you a human that identifies as a bunny in some way, or dresses like a bunny?
That's also true.
I like the idea that it's a quantum kind of thing, in a sense, where there's that, like in the movie that this is. Sometimes they cast Telly as a bunny, and sometimes they cast Telly as a person wearing a little bit of fur around like some of their clothes, and occasionally putting on bunny ears. And it's just scene by scene dependent.
I love that so much.
Yeah, just sometimes it's just fluffy bunny, just not even large human sized fluffy bunny. Just like sometimes Telly is just a fluffy bunny, and sometimes Telly is not, and Telly is this person with bunny ears, and it just depends, and nobody notices any difference, of course, because this was Telly, right? So. It's merely the audience that gets confused by this.
Perfect. I love that. So I think I love the idea of us cutting to Telly just tapping with their bunny paws. cut back to Umbra, who reads the note. Cut back to Telly, who is now human with the bunny ears on, but a suspicious amount of rabbit pellets near the keyboard. And then, I think Umbra will turn to you and say, "Telly, I've gotten a message from our friend. We have to. We should go check this out. Or should I go by myself?"
So sorry, I'm not sure if that's in character or not, but in this game you have to stay with your Kogoth.
Got it. I forgot that rule. Interesting.
That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll be like, Raven says that they need our help, that they need my help. We should go look for them. It says Ace something.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that Ace? I'm looking at the map.
So just if it's helpful, there's 2 maps and they have slightly different sets of stores on them. So if you don't find something on one, you might want to check the other.
Yeah, there's Ace of Mace. I was trying to
there's
not
2
die
maps.
of laughter. Yeah, I see Ace of Mace. So
They're-
that
the two of them are different. Yes, they are.
All right. So do I understand that the Morgoths are going to head to Ace of Mace next?
Yeah, I think so. If Mendo's cool with
yeah.
that.
Sounds good. And on the way, riding the escalator, maybe we can discuss. I find it really interesting that that Raven would write up, would write out those that gargled expressions of fear. Would take that time. But I've always known Raven to be very conscientious about making sure the whole message comes through. It's one of the things that makes them so good at the DJ work. Because I mean it's all in the details.
They're not like your regular animals.
Cool. So I will come back to you, but Visigoths, what are you planning to do after you leave Floppy Joe's?
So, boss,
Yes.
commander, I'm still not sure what I should call you. Is Elf Giver all right?
When I'm the appropriate title is war leader. But when we're not actually making war, you can call me Elfkeeper. That's fine.
Are we making war now? I'm never quite sure.
Well, we're making a certain kind of war all the time.
That is
But we
true.
don't want to get thrown out of the mall. We don't want to get thrown out of the mall quite as early today.
Right.
So we're keeping it. We're keeping it on the. What's the expression? The lowdown.
Yes, the low
High
down.
up.
The very low down. Yes, exactly.
Yes, that one.
Should I call you Elf to be super chill?
No, I do not wish to be chill. The chill is the domain of the ice giants.
Ah, yes. With their ice giantness and their iced coffee.
But that does remind me, we should go to Little Durtons and procure mounts.
Yes, we should. I think that is an excellent idea.
All right. So, mid-morning, the various Goths head out of Floppy Joe's, and we'll start with the Morgoths as you arrive at Ace of Mace. Or is there anything that you want to talk about on your way there?
Yeah, I think when Telly mentioned that there was something off, I think Umbra was finally able to go like, you know what? That's true. But let me just... oh, wait, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I was going to use my detect lies, but I looked at once per day without rolling for Cole. So, like, it's just a given that I believe it's authentic, so I won't roll for it.
Right.
But, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense that after you
that's why I was
investigated a
drawing
little,
attention
you
to it,
realize.
and then. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Mendo.
That's why I was drawing attention to it, it being kind of not right, and then completely excusing that fact.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If that makes
True.
sense. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. All right. I'm going to go to the Visigoths and hope that we have a Morgoth team back before late morning ends.
No worries.
So, Visigoths, you're heading to tiny Jotuns, is that right?
Yes, we are. With great purpose.
Great. Let me just... Sorry. Weirdly,
I'm
this is
looking-
more like a trad game than anything else I play because it has like almost keyed like a dungeon, this guide to the mall that I have to like flip through to find out what's happening.
I'm looking longingly at Lemon Theodosis as we pass by.
Mm-hmm.
I must get a smoothie later. I'm feeling overheated.
You will get a lemon Theodosius and not else if you go there. This smoothie thing is a contraption of modern times, designed to inveigle you into consuming unclean multiple fruits.
Yes, exactly. Wait, these
Why do
are
I
bad
even try?
things, right? Wait, well, right. Multiple unclean truths, bad things. Right.
Fruits.
Fruits. Yes, of course, fruits. Fruits are like truth.
I do not lisp that much.
Truths are like fruits. I must write that down for my book.
It doesn't. Don't you remember the runecasters saying, they shall be known by their unclean fruits?
Oh, is that what he meant?
Yes, clearly. Look at that. I mean, who ever heard of some of these fruits? What are mangoes?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
And these pine.
I would cite a size, of course, which are fictional, but they haven't been invented yet. In 1997.
So you make your way to Tiny Jotun Adventures. There's a horse track out the front. There are stables in the back. There are screaming children absolutely everywhere. Ivoric, who you know, he's a Visigoth, is behind the counter. He's a bit, he's sort of half modernized himself, but he's still quite confused about the contemporary ways of 1997. He's wearing a jersey and shorts from two rival sporting teams. He doesn't. I mean, you probably don't pick that up, I suppose.
No. We Visigoths are very sensitive to tribal displays. He stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, you do think of him as a coward. He hasn't been as enthusiastic as you probably think he should about the war on the Morgoths and the greater Los Angeles area. What will you do at Tiny Jotun?
Well, I will start off in the traditional fashion with the ritual threats.
Mm-hmm.
I offered to, of course, to curse his ancestors and to slit his throat and tie his entrails to a tree, chase him around the tree. Should he ever betray or play false to the Visigoths?
He does not reply in the traditional fashion. Instead, he stammers a little and he says, "Gee, Elf Geever, I'm just trying to make a living here. Getting threatened by Visigoths all the time."
It's a ritual threat, moron. They're only going to do that to you if you ever did betray us, which of course you'd never do.
Well,
I say, holding a spear in a completely non-threatening fashion.
He replies, "Well, I mean, I lent you that horse so you could kidnap the Morgoth boy last night, didn't I?"
I think I will gently poke him with the spear. and say one more word about that to anyone. And I really will show you that some of those traditional threats are more than traditional. Or rather, yes.
He loudly exclaims, "Ow!" As you poke him with a spear, and he turns to Cole and he says, "I can never tell when he's threatening me like threatening, and when he's threatening me like, friendly like."
I find it best to always assume she's threatening you.
He takes that in. He takes in the wisdom of what you're saying.
But really, Evorik, come on. We're friends, you and I. We both think of all of the great battles we've run away from together. All of the frightening nights we've spent huddled together, trying not to crap ourselves as trolls and evil monsters attacked our village. We're friends, you and I, right?
Yes.
Right, exactly. So, all we're concerned about is that, should anyone come asking about, I don't know, some young person who's disappeared, you would just tell them that you don't know anything.
Yeah, I can tell them that.
It shouldn't be difficult for you to admit that you don't know anything.
Yeah, yes, okay. I don't.
Good.
No, nothing. You've forgotten. In fact, you've forgotten everything that happened up until yesterday. If someone asks you yesterday what you had for lunch, you tell them you're not sure anymore.
Exactly.
I think that one of you needs to roll to convince him to keep silent.
I'll happily do that
All right.
because I have a skill called Spear.
Question.
Which means it's like evidently everything looks like a nail after a fashion.
Yeah. So I can embarrass myself to give a friend +3 on their roll.
Mm-hmm.
How often can I do that?
I think that you can do it as many times as you want, as long as you don't have 3 hurt feelings.
Okay. So
you can do it after they've rolled and before we move on.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I kind of don't want to just do it for the hell of it.
All right. Tell us how you embarrass yourself.
So my embarrassing is bad dancer. So there's in order to remind Evorik, this cowardly Visigoth, of our friendship, I do the Visigoth dance of friendship. Which involves a lot of very threatening hand movements. And I'm trying to do it with whatever music is playing over, which I'm guessing is something like Farmer in the Dell, some sort of
Oh, yeah. Amazing. I'm thinking that maybe it would be like Swamp Thing. Do you remember? Was that? I don't know if I quite have the era right, but do you remember that
Oh my gosh! Wait. When was Backstreet Boys? Wait.
I think Backstreet Boys is mid-90s, yeah.
Yeah, I try to figure out Backstreet Boys discography. Anyway, it might. Oh, yeah, it does. It does fit. Because Backstreet's Back was 1997, so that was their second album. So that means any of the first would work.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless they're very small children, in which case it might be the Wiggles.
All right. Well, Elfgiva.
All right, here we go.
You're rolling at +3 as well as whatever skill you have, and I will roll 2d6 to contest your roll.
Okay, I got a 15.
Oh, well, I have a 6. Yeah. So yes, you have definitely silenced young Ivoric. Cole, why don't you make a roll to see if you notice anything while you're here?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and just roll the 2d6 thing because I don't really have anything that'll help me with that. So.
Sure. I'm going to roll 2d6 on behalf of the mall.
I rolled a 9.
Nice.
Nice like me now.
Oh, I rolled an 8. So you notice that in the stable out the back is Raven's black lace handkerchief. A little piece of evidence that was left behind here. Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do. I sneak I sort of subtly make my way to the back. In the way only a garishly dressed Visigoth can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sort of like, do. Pick up that handkerchief.
All right. And you're just going to take it with you?
Yes, I'm actually going to try and... I take it back to Elfgiva.
Mm-hmm.
Elfgiva,
Yes.
There seems to have been... I'm sure it's not Evoric's fault, but there does seem to have been a bit of a mix-up. This does appear to be a certain person's handkerchief.
What?
Who was, of course, never here, right?
I look over at Ivor.
I was thinking we could perhaps leave this somewhere and perhaps let the Molgoths find it and throw them off the trail.
Ha! Clever. I thumped I thumped him on the back. See, this is why you have to have a trickster.
Thank you.
So there's really nothing accomplished without a lot of lying.
It does take some skill, especially in these modern days. Everyone seems to do it a lot more back than when we were from.
Do you have a thought about where you'd want to hide it? Or leave it? I guess you won't be hiding it.
I do. I try and suggest it to Elfgiva in a way that she thinks it's her idea. The Molgoths do tend to go to this place. What is it? That awful garish place that's across from the Floppy Joe's chili. It's got all the All Hallows Eve decoration.
Oh, the bat worship shrine?
Yes, that's the one. Exactly. Yeah. By the way, Elfgiva probably knows that Cole is in that place like 2 times a day, at least.
You seem to know a great deal about it.
Well, always have to scope out the competition. It's going to be hard to start my own religion if I don't know what people worship around here. No one seems to like trees anymore. It's very weird.
What's the matter with the old religions? Why do you have to invent a new one? I mean, I understand that, that it's in your nature, but even so.
Well, I won't be really inventing a new religion. I'll just be using the best bits of the old religion and putting it in terms they understand and writing a book about it.
And then bits of the old religion are all against they'll get you chucked out of the mall.
Well, we have to, make sure they don't practice it in the mall.
Well,
they have to practice it at home.
Well, that's true. But we must needs conquer the mall before we conquer Los Angeles. So
exactly. One planet at a time.
Very well. Yes. The Bat Shrine it is. To the Bat Shrine.
Indeed, to the Bat Shrine.
Can I clarify? Is the Bat Shrine Dracula's video,
yes,
or is there? Yes. Okay. Good.
It could possibly have been a Feta Worse Than Death, but not. But it's actually Dracula video.
Perfect. So look, it's just past 4, so let's take another quick break, and we'll come back and see if the Morgoths can get themselves back on the trail. So maybe we'll come back at 10 minutes past the hour.
Sounds good.
All right. See you soon.
When you said to the bat shrine, I really heard do like that kind of classic Batman sound effect.
I had to resist making the noise because I would not be in character.
So iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back too.
Cool. I just
This is
asked
long
if you were
as
back and then realized I was muted. So, the Morgoths, you arrive at Ace of Mace. The walls are covered in axes, bows, whips, and all the weapons of a respectable adventuring party.
Mm-hmm.
There's two staff in the shop. Who you know them both. You know all the clerks in the mall more or less. You see Subin, who's a 15-year-old genderqueer Korean. They're wearing baggy zip-off cargo shorts and bowling shirts with spiky black hair. They're helping some customers who are interested in maybe purchasing a spear. And Pam, who is 16. A 16-year-old Thai gay cis girl with a high ponytail and hip-hop clothes. She is doing some sort of very elaborate, very slow modern dance choreography when she should be tidying up. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think we have to track down our friend. So I feel like I'm trying to figure out if Umbra would be I think they'd be the type to just walk around creepily, looking looking for secret doors, like just trying to. And every time someone comes by, they just like have this like.
Do you want me to try to distract them so that you can get to a secret door? Or?
Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of a good idea, right? Like, I feel like because they were heading to the Dracula store, I kind of like the idea that we cut to Umbra like acting like Dracula, trying to sneak around. But yeah, I would appreciate the help.
Okay,
absolutely.
All right. So I mean, what I could do is I could attempt to. Go over to where Pam is and mimic some of her movements, and then creak out. This is harder than I thought, and then keel over into a dead faint.
Well, if you want to do that, then
thus attracting the attention of both clerks. Hopefully,
Umbra will certainly get +3 to their roll if that's what's happening. So, Umbra, you're trying to find a secret door. Yeah, I mean, there's no secret door to be found here. So, I think, like, can we broaden it and say that you're like looking for clues or like trying to figure out what happened or something like that? I'm
totally willing to do a Scooby-Doo moment where I'm looking for a secret door, but I find something else, right? And then but yeah, so definitely.
Right. So do you want to just roll 2d6? I think +3.
Yeah. Because I don't see how my skills or I do have a crystal wand though.
Oh.
I wonder if that could like I want to say that I take it out and it starts acting like like a metal detector. Like it's making
metal detector.
Like it's making these noises.
Sorry.
In fact, can I say I don't know if they've been around since then, but those because here in the Philippines we have a lot of those, like we call them wands that the security guards use at the mall, right? Like it's a staple here. So I kind of like the idea that Umbra took one and put crystals on it. Anyway, so that's what So if I use the equipment, do I also get like a +1 or?
So I think that some equipment specifically says that it gives you a bonus, but I don't think equipment by itself is just like fictional positioning.
I got it. No worries. So I'll just stick with the +3. I just like the idea of using the wand either way. Okay, so rolling.
And I will also roll on behalf of them
Sure.
all.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I've rolled a 3, so you will definitely beat me.
Okay. That's good because I'm not getting what I rolled. So, yeah. But
you rolled 2 1s and still beat me. Fine work.
Thank you so much, Telly.
So you're like pattering around the shop. I imagine you've got your like collar pulled up like Dracula's cloak, kind of, waving this crystal wand of no particular magic power. Pam and Subin both like kind of attend to Tally. Tally, do you stay fainted, or are you gonna like let them sort of bring you round, or what are you doing at this point? Mendel, did you hear me?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Well, as I said, I'm mostly trying to give Umbra as much clearance as she can, or as they can.
Sure. Okay, so Pam and Subin, I guess like half roused you, but they're quite focused. It's unusual for a teen goth to pass out in the middle of Ace of Mace. Not unheard of, but fairly unusual. And I think as they help you recover. So, Umbra, you do not find a secret door, but what you manage to uncover with this performance is that as they sort of try and awaken Tally, Subin says to Pam, "I don't know what's up, but there's a lot of weird shit happening in this mall today." And Pam replies, "Well, what do you mean?" So I hate this thing where the Dungeon Master starts having a conversation with themselves, but I'm just going to move through this as quickly as I can.
I believe in you.
Subin kind of says, "Well, Tally's just passed out right in front of us." Oh, hello. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to show Matthew the gray cat. Sorry. Go ahead.
Tally's passed out right in front of us. Umbra is doing some weird wand dance around the wall. And last night I saw some hooded figure bring a white pony into gerbil essences, and the pony was like bleeding. So this is the clue that you reveal as you stumble around the shop awkwardly like Dracula.
Oh my gosh, a bleeding white pony gerbil essences? Did I get all of that correct?
Yes. Somebody took them in, early this morning to bathe the pony. It looked much better when it came out. It was all patched up. It was, gerbil essences do a good job on that sort of thing.
So it wasn't, I don't know if it's enough to pick it up now, but so it wasn't like the animal's blood, like it was like ritualistically placed on it?
It just looked like it had been scratched up a little. You couldn't really, Subin didn't really know, it didn't look like it had been badly hurt, like nobody had bleeded copiously, but that horse had obviously seen some trouble.
Right, and so when I hear that, I say, "Worry not. As a Malgoth, we are here to protect all animals." I think this is when Umbra realizes that they're very attached to any and all animals. Oh my gosh, a great cat. Anyway, both Jamie and Umbra have that in common. And so, yeah, I think with that information, I like pick up Telly, who I assumed has like shrunk back down into a bunny form for no reason, and just very gingerly pick them up, right? And then just like skedaddle out of the.
I'm taking a look at the cat.
I know you're looking at the cat. Okay, Matthew, I'm
Right.
playing.
As you do that, the bunny opens one eye just to see if it's closed is clear, and then lets you take them out of the store.
And I think I placed Tully on top of my head.
Before
and then,
hopping onto their own 2 feet.
Oh, there
Or
you
their
go.
own 4 feet, I should say.
Perfect.
And do you want to ask them anything in the store about, like you've got this note from Raven that suggested he might have been held there? Do you want to?
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you want to follow that up?
I got so distracted by my partner. Yeah, I think so. We'll just rewind a little bit. I think I want to try to talk to. Yeah, I want to say like the person that I feel would be most interested in helping me, meaning the one who thinks I'm cute. Is what I'm trying to go for.
I think that you probably get the most of that vibe from Subin.
And then so, which one is Subin again?
They are the bisexual with zip-off cargo shorts and bowling shirts.
Perfect. Yeah, and so I go up to them and I do that weird Wanda thing where they go next to someone with their hands by the head. In this creepy like fashion. That's a wonderful shirt you're wearing.
Oh, well, thanks. I like your shirt.
And I think Umbra will go a little hard. This shirt looks even better on someone's bedroom floor. I'm just going to say.
I think that Subin will blush quite hard at that. And look a little sad. Like it reminds her of something that she's unhappy about.
Oh no.
And she'll somewhat awkwardly sort of mumble, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to use my once per day without rolling.
What is that?
Ask someone an emotional question and they must answer with their true feelings.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden, like Umbra turns real serious, places, like not necessarily touching them, right? Just checking the boundary, like places a hand near their hand. And I'll say, I'm sorry, did I bring up something I shouldn't have? Are you okay?
So I think that she'll make this little like come over here gesture, like let's talk in private. And if it's all right, she will take your hand. She'll like lead you across to the other side of the store, where they keep the shields and the axes, and sort of half whisper or stage whisper. Look, this is my first job. I'm just finding everything really overwhelming, especially. I mean, look at Pam. Look how beautiful she is, and she just gazes adoringly at her co-worker.
Well, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to talk to her. I mean, I can talk to her about, morning stars, long swords, but what about the things that really matter?
Wait.
Like all the way from Dracula's video, Alpha Gamer just like senses that someone has disrespected the Morning Star.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like there's a brief flashback of someone from the past using one, right?
Disrespect this.
Perfect. And I think Umbra will say, I mean, if you know so much about weapons and how to use them, I'm sure you could figure out a way to use your words in the battle of love. Do they not follow the same rules? I'll say, and I'm trying to lean into.
Sorry, that's my cat.
Yeah, because like I'm a prep school valedictorian and everything, I will actually like quote Shakespeare in order to inspire them to go for it, like, to try their best.
Real like debate club skill.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't you roll to see if you successfully convince Subin to like say something to Pam?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a +2 to persuade. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Ooh, that was an 8. Oh no,
that was
what
me.
happened?
Oh no, you have not persuaded her. Wait, did you roll though? It looks like you've just added a +2, but no dice.
Oh, okay. Phew. Okay.
Okay. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Trying to beat an 8.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, this room is so weird for me now. Okay, it's all right. So 2. Okay, rolling. Oh, nice.
So you see the inspiration well up in her eyes as your stirring words take effect. She says, "You're right. Just like a weapon, I just have to aim for the soft spot in her armor, drive the sharp point powerfully, using my hips rather than my arms for leverage." And you see her march across the store to talk to Pam.
I think Umbra like fans themselves. Whoo, that's actually quite effective.
Tally, is there anything that you're wanting to do in the store in this scene before we move on, or while this is going on?
Other than creeping open another eye as I watch her go across to Pam, and shutting it back again before anyone notices.
Cool. All right. So let's pick up. It is now the early afternoon time slot. The Visigoths have headed to Dracula Video. What will you find there? The Fritz Fang, who is a 17-year-old white gay boy with extremely voluminous blonde chest hair and pointy ears, greets you both, especially you, Cole. Can I get one of you to just roll me a d6 to find out what's playing on the TV in the corner of the store? Either Cole or Elfgiver.
Elfgiver, do you want to take this one?
Yep. Go ahead.
Right. So on the TV in the corner, you can see they are showing Meowtropolis. It's an obscure animated series about a marginalized community of humanoid glam cats living on a trash barge patrolled by angry dogs in New York City's Hudson River. The most popular character with odd teenagers is Rabbi Rainbows. Rabbi Rainbows is the advisor to the Mewish community of Meowtropolis. He is a slender cat man in a crushed... The text for this just goes on and on. It's quite amazing. A slender cat man in a crushed velvet catsuit with a plunging neckline spilling over with fur. His yarmulke is a CD that melted in the sun into a concave shape and reflects rainbows off his head from the sunlight. He is obviously a gay rabbi cat, but he has a daughter from a... It's not even funny. He has a daughter from a previous marriage.
Oh, if I should have just filled that in for you.
Since the city of Meowtropolis is the trash barge, the synagogue is in the cleanest area, the galley. It's called Temple Meowses. At Temple Meowses, Rabbi Rainbows trains kittens for their per mitzvahs.
Quick character note.
Please.
It becomes obvious to anybody who cares to look that my look is at least partly based on that rabbi character.
Nice. Do you have a partially melted CD on your head?
No, I don't. Although I do have a partially. I'm trying to pull that look off, but I haven't been able to quite get it right yet. But I'm working on it.
Yeah. Just the smell of like burnt CD hanging around you.
Yeah. Yes.
So Fritz welcomes you to the store, asks if he can help you with anything.
How is the store decorated right now? Is it's its usual sort of gothic-y, dark, woo, spooky?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of VCR. There's racks and racks lining the walls in the interior of the store, covered in VHS tapes. They have a very well curated cult horror and foreign film section.
Nice.
There are large posters on the wall. What do we see posters for? Well, I might ask each of you what mid-90s film we see a poster stuck to the wall of Dracula video for. I'm obviously going to lead off with Hackers. Cole, what's the first mid-90s movie that you spot a poster for on the wall in Dracula video?
Is this the right... Oh, it's perfect. Mimic.
Well, can you remind us what Mimic was?
It is actually one of... It's a 1997 movie. It's an American science fiction horror. It's directed by Del Toro.
Oh.
And it's about a mutant insect to kill cockroaches, but has now evolved into a monster that threatens to exterminate mankind.
Amazing. I think I might actually watch this movie tonight, if I can find it. Brandon, what's another mid-90s movie that we see a poster for on the wall in Dracula video?
No, it's got to be the remake of Romeo and Juliet.
Great choice.
With,
Mendel?
with Leonardo DiCaprio, stuff like that.
Yes.
Someone, anyone of any gender could fall for.
Absolutely.
Oh, Romeo plus Juliet.
That's right.
Romeo, Christian Cross, Juliet, perhaps.
Mendel, what other mid-90s movie poster do we see on the wall in Dracula's? Mendel, did you hear the question?
Sorry, didn't realize you were asking me. Okay. I'm just going to go with a Babylon 5 poster.
Nice.
I think that was about the right time.
Sure. We're not going to cleave too closely to the continuity of what actually was real in the mid-90s.
As the rabbi showed us.
Yes.
I mean, I'm literally rewatching the series now, so it's present in my mind.
Sure. And Jamie, what other poster?
Yeah, speaking of which, I think this is an alternative reality version of the Frighteners, except they're all drag queens. So, I think the face of the poster that's coming through, for some reason, the makeup and stuff is somehow coming through. I really like that idea. But yeah. And so instead of Michael J. Fox and everybody else, it's all these drag queens going around and all the ghosts are drag queens. That's my vision.
Amazing. So Cole, that was the long way around answering your question about how the shop is decorated.
Excellent. Oh, hello, Fritz. Hello, Fritz. How are you today? Good to see you're looking well.
Yeah, he has a deep sort of throaty voice, which I cannot necessarily do. He says, "Oh, thank you, Cole. Maybe I can do the voice."
Channel your inner Harvey Firestein.
What?
Ooh.
You're looking well yourself. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I was just and while I'm talking to him, I'm trying to hand the handkerchief off to Elfgiva to sort of leave in the store somewhere.
Okay. Are you trying to do that secretly, or are you just going to openly pass it to her? Or
Yeah, it's kind of secretly, sort of like under the table, like while I'm distracting him. And I'm also looking for a particular movie. So
okay. Well, let's roll to see whether he notices you pass the handkerchief.
all right, so that I think is going to be just a straight 2d6.
Sure.
Do. 7.
Well, you've beaten my 4, so he doesn't notice as you pass the handkerchief to Elfgiva. You said you're looking for a particular video, but I might come back to that if that's okay.
Mhm.
Elfgiva, what do you want to do with the handkerchief?
Well, I am no fool. I learned that may have learned the ways of deception secondhand, but I've learned them well. I'm going to drop it in the display window in front of something so that from inside the store you can't really see it, but from outside it's blatantly obvious.
All right. Is there like a particular title that you want to drop it in front of, or you're just going to let it sit in the
Nosferatu.
Oh, nice. The silent version or the Werner Herzog version, or
oh gosh. I go with the classic, I think, because it has the best poster.
Perfect. All right. I don't think you need to roll for that. Like, you can just drop it in the window. That's totally fine. Is there anything else that you want to do at Dracula's while Cole is, talking about movies with Fritz?
I desire to visit the foreign film section to see if they have anything suitable for this evening's celebration.
I don't think that they'll have anything either in Gothic or that's like Visigoth / Valentine's Day themed.
Okay, fine. I'll settle for stealing Carrie.
All right. You can roll to shoplift.
Yes, I will.
Beautiful. And you're quite good at that.
The theft is is the
All
war
right.
god's prerogative. Raiding. This is a raid.
Of course.
It's a very unusual raid because it's not livestock, but even so.
Well, I have literally rolled a 2, so you could not possibly fail this roll. So
no, I'm an overachiever and got an 11.
Well, do you want to describe how you steal it? Like, where are you tucking your copy of Carrie?
Let's see. Logically, I'm not wearing a helmet. I am. I think I'm. Let's see. I'm simply going to tuck it down the sort of the front of my tunic. It's chainmail, so so the lump won't show.
Great. And Cole, you were talking to Fritz about maybe a particular movie?
Yes. I'm hoping to get actually like I don't know if this actually exists or not, but like a Italian Carrie knockoff that is like 1/10 the plot and acting and 10 times the blood. Something like that.
Duplicated efforts.
And also I want to see if he's like, if he's going to the Valentine things tonight. I just want to know if he's going to the Valentine. I just want to know if he's going to the Valentine tonight. Just curious.
So I think that he like starts out like cataloging for you the various Italian knockoffs of Carrie that they have in store. Based on their, varying ratios of sort of quality to blood, all very much favouring the latter.
Excellent.
But he is taken aback when you ask him about the Valentine's Day dance. Why don't you roll to see whether he's picking up what you're putting down?
Yeah. Would persuade work for that?
Or
just
I think. I mean, you're not really trying to persuade him, right? Like you're more like putting it out there. So I think
exactly
just a regular 2d6
works for me.
All right.
I got a 10.
All right. Now I got an 8. I have not succeeded on a single roll in this game. I was like, hey, finally a game where the Dungeon Master gets to roll dice, and I haven't haven't succeeded a single time. I want to go back to PBTA where I can just like mess with you on a miss. Anyway, I've already forgotten the voice. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, go together.
But I was thinking about it. I should let you know, though, my friend and I are planning a bit of a prank.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and, if you wanted to help out with that would be fun, too.
I'm not going to get in trouble like last time, right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Most likely, Elf Giver would get most of the trouble for this one. She does tend to yell a lot when people start challenging her.
If by yell, you mean stab through the intestines with a spear. Yeah, I guess she likes to yell.
Well, yes, that too. Yes.
It wasn't through the intestines.
All right. So I think that Fritz will essentially agree to join you in this prank, but I just want to cut here back to the Morgoths and make sure that they get a scene before we wrap up for the day. So when we left you, you had been at Ace of Mace, and you had heard that somebody took a slightly beaten and bloodied horse into gerbil essences this morning. What do you want to do? Do you want to follow that up, or is there something else that you'd like to do?
Yeah, I mean, my vote, because I tend to be a very focused player.
You are.
Yeah.
They up to see what we're doing.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out. Oh, and Gerbil Essences is nearby, so yeah, definitely.
All right. So you head to Gerbil Essences. It is a very cool hair salon, equipped with styling stations for both humans and pets, which is why a horse could have been in there this morning. You recognize a couple of the staff again. There is Bitter Herb, who is a gay trans boy who is white and Jewish with a neon green mohawk haircut. And you know him to be an expert at fixing ripped clothes. Of course, just with safety pins, but still an expert. And Kelly, who is a bisexual cis black girl, a traditional goth, neither a Morgoth nor a Visigoth, but a traditional goth, with long cornrows, a black t-shirt, black leather jacket, black jeans, and black Doc Martens. They're both cutting hair. Human or animal doesn't really make a difference in this store as you come in. But they both recognize you. They both, probably wave as you come in. Kelly calls out, if you want me to do your hair, just take a seat. I'll be done in a minute.
Yeah, and then I call out, so I heard about a horse situation happening earlier. How did it go? I'm very interested in horses. And then Umbra widens their eyes, why did I say that?
Yeah, okay, so I think Bitter Herb will pipe up and say, yeah, we don't get too many horses in here, but I did a horse this morning. That's nice. Got to, trim the little scruff of the neck. Scruff of the neck. What do you call that? What do you call that, Telly? Looking at your somewhat similar mane. Do you have a horse of your own you want to bring in?
Well, I really, and yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna pretend like, yeah. I accidentally let slip. Mommy and daddy and their I mean, I know someone's parents. They have horses that need special grooming from someone with real vision. But I think I want to see this horse that you helped out earlier, and I want to talk to the person. Just to hear directly from a customer, who owned the horse, right? So I'm trying to get information basically, so I can try to track down who brought the horse and more information about that.
Yeah. So he, as you have this conversation, he is both, he's talking to you, he's engaging with you, he's continuing the conversation, but he is also, at the same time, poking around Tally's hair, the little mane at the back of your neck, talking about how good it would look, bright green. Tally, if you ever want me to put a colour through there, maybe some spikes. Spikes would be nice. Could do dreadlocks. Dreadlocks if you like. What do you think, Tally?
Green, though? You think green's the right option?
He strokes his own bright green mohawk. Says, "Well, I think that green looks good on anybody, but maybe you're more of a pink rabbit, purple, blue. What would you like?"
I mean, it's got whichever color. It's really got to bring out the ears.
Yes, that is true. What? Yes. What would complement your ears nicely? I think maybe a nice, rich, violet color, perhaps. It looks to Umbra, as he says.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
I could do it for you right now if you'd like. Have you looking? Pert and fresh for tonight's Valentine's Day skate?
Okay, I'll bite.
Right. Let me just finish up here. And then having, essentially made his sale, he will turn back to Umbra. And why don't you make your roll to see if you get him to disclose anything?
Sure. Do I get a plus because, he just got a sale? Like he's in a good mood.
I guess the question is, you could get a bonus if Tally had said some of that in his embarrassing, cracking voice. Tally?
Oh, we can see. I can roll first to see if it's...
Well, when he... Right. Oh, when he brings out the hair dye, right, and we put the color up on my ear, that's when the cracking voice comes into play. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
And that's the opportune moment.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, so making sure I have my dice up. So it's persuade plus the help. So rolling...
+5, I think. Ooh,
nice. Did it show up? Okay.
Yes, it's a 13. I'm just rolling 2d6, so I can't possibly succeed, but I'm just going to give it a go. It's nice to roll dice. It's a 6.
Oh,
thanks for saying. Yeah.
I actually really don't like rolling as a GM because I tend to roll really high, so I stopped doing it. When I was playing D&D, I had to hide it behind a GM screen and pretend I was rolling low half the time.
Amazing. I have not had that problem.
I never have that problem.
But he will tell you that it was Benedict from St. Sebastian's Catholic Gifts who brought the horse in this morning.
Benedict. Okay. From Saint... I'm just looking for it in the... St. Sebastian's Catholic, those religious stuff. Okay.
And I think that on that note, we might just wrap the game for this week, and we'll have time for a quick round of stars and wishes. And then we will continue today's adventure episode next week. So stars and wishes, just something that you enjoyed or appreciated about the game today, and your wish, something that you're hoping for in next week or in the future of the game. Let's go left to right across the character keeper for this. So Mendel, do you want to go first with a star and a wish?
I think you said left to right
Yes.
on the character keeper. So I guess I'm going first.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. All right. So obviously I wish for better internet, but in any case, so what I really like the dynamic that's forming up, as it were, with the two teams so far, as it were. I'm kind of I guess what I wish is I want to see a cross interaction happen, where we actually like pass each other in one of the passageways, and so have like at least a little bit of cross chatter, possibly more than just cross chatter. But I think that would be good. I think that would be my wish.
Yeah, that can definitely happen. Thanks. Cool. Brandon, get a star and a wish.
I think I'm going to give. I think everybody deserves stars for coming up with fun characters on this first go, and I'm not going to single out anyone. A wish. My wish is the same thing: is that it's time for the Goths to interact, taunt each other, declare open warfare, ask each other out, whatever is appropriate.
All of the above.
Yes.
Yes, that's great.
Maybe all of the above in a single action.
Yeah, I think that for Elfgiver, there's probably like a pretty fine line between asking someone out and declaring war. Yeah.
Opening with the traditional threats.
Well, not if you're asking somebody out. Then it's just a challenge.
All right. Jamie.
Yeah, really big stars. I really enjoyed seeing the Visigoths making sense of this modern world. That was really, really funny to me. So many different things, which made me like, even though I was really interested in the Visigoths, I didn't think personally I could do that justice. It was great to see the two of them do it so well. So I can be more confident by the end of this campaign, I think, to try it out for myself. I really love the idea of Telly just turning into a rabbit sometimes, like a full-on bunny, and like just so cute. Like it's very true to the time. I had so much fun like going back to the 90s. I think I will watch some 90s movies or listen to some 90s music before the next session. So in terms of a wish, I think I actually forgot that there was a dance happening. So I would like an opportunity to get a date.
Yeah.
So try to get the courage to ask Telly out, or to have Elfgiva ask me out, like something along those lines would be really hilarious and really fun, I think. So,
Sure.
because I have this like one track mind of like have to find this person. Oh, there's a date. But yeah, that I need to try to get. Anyway, that's basically it.
Cool. Thank you.
I think of Tully as Hobbs.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, I can't.
You know,
Yes.
it's like depending on who you are, it's a stuffed animal or a tiger.
Yep, fair enough.
Cool. And Joe.
Lots of stars to hang around. Telly, I really like how you were leaning into the cracking voice embarrassing trait. Elfgiva, I love I love the whole like Visigoth way of life first. I think the leading into that's going to be really funny. I like that Umbra has kind of become a matchmaker. I don't know if they're planning on continuing that, but I thought that was a really interesting moment. And Shane, thank you for running this. This is so much fun so far.
Oh, and now Meowtropolis.
Yeah, wish. I definitely second the wish for like. I want the Visigoths and the Molgoths to meet. I want to. I'd love to see if we can find a way to like put all of the romantic crushes into effect. And I definitely want to have some like show off between Umbra and Cole, because I'm looking at Umbra's skills and they're like detect lies, persuade, and haunt. And mine are persuade, inspire religious acts, and chase flee. So I sort of feel like I could see them having a combo where like Umbra is trying to figure out which one of Zing is lies and truths, and I'm trying to persuade somebody. Like I'm maybe trying to persuade Telly to. I don't know. We'll think of something, but
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can definitely work on opportunities for you to interact with each other. That sounds really fun. I mean, stars to everyone. That was so fun. It was great to see like the dynamics emerge between you all. Yes, I am excited to see you all in the same space as well. I mean, the highlight for me was definitely just the word meowage, which I inexplicably found hilariously funny. And yeah, I'm really excited for next week. Thanks very much, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. See ya.
Good night.